Well, hello and welcome. My name is Miss Heard with Miss Heard Song Lyrics Podcast, and we're in Season 5, Episode 217. We're doing our first ever Pointer Sisters Miss Heard Song Lyric. The Miss Heard lyric is, "Please don't shine," and then the correct lyrics is, "He's so shy." Love the song. He's So Shy is a song by American group Pointer Sisters from their 7th studio album called Special Things back in 1980. That's about 43 years ago already. Wow. The Pointer Sisters are an American girl group from Oakland, California, which achieved mainstream success right around the 1970s and through the 80s. Their talent jumped between many genres, from rhythm and blues, R&B, pop, jazz, electronic music, bebop, blues, soul, funk, dance, country, and rock. So they do it all. They have, among themselves, have won 3 Grammy Awards, received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1994, and the group has had 13 U.S. top 20 hits between 1973 and 1985. They were busy. So here's something I did not know. The group originally started as a duo with sisters June and Bonnie Pointer, and they started performing in clubs back in 1969, known as Pointers a Pair. I thought that's cute. Then it became a trio when their sister Anita joined them. They won a record deal with Atlantic Records and produced, unfortunately, several unsuccessful singles. So the trio didn't do well. Then the trio expanded to a quartet when they added sister Ruth Pointer, who joined in December of 1972. From then on, they were signed on with Blue Thumb Records, recorded their debut album as a quartet with that new label, and that's when they started seeing success. They won a Grammy Award in 1975 for Best Country Vocal Performance for Fairy Tale 1974. I had no idea they also did country. Now, the interesting thing is the quartet went back to a trio when sister, who was the original of the duo, Bonnie, left the group in 1977 to go out on her own, to do her own solo career, and it says here with modest success. So now you have the power trio of June, Ruth, and Anita, Pointer Sisters, and a lot of that success came in the 1980s with these 3. So then they won 2 more Grammys in 1984 for the top 10 hits Automatic and Jump for My Love. Oh, I love that song. I totally forgot they do that. And then the other top 10 U.S. hits that they did was 1979's Fire, Romeo and Juliet, Samson and Delilah. And then the one we're talking about today, a year later, 1980, with He's So Shy. Then they had another hit the next year in 81 with Slow Hand. Love that song. Didn't understand about it when I was a kid. Now as an adult, I get it. So look those lyrics up. And then they did a remix version of I'm So Excited in 1984. That's one of my favorite workout songs. And then Neutron Dance in 1985. Now, with all the successes, there has been some setbacks. There was a drug addiction concern. So June, who's the youngest sister, struggled with drug addiction. And then for several years, she left the group in April of 2004 prior to her death from cancer in April 2006. And I'll go into that in a bit. So what happened? They replaced Ruth's daughter. It was actually, sorry, June was replaced by Ruth's daughter, Isa Pointer. And the trio had a #2 hit in Belgium in 2005, covering Sisters Are Doing It For Themselves with Belgian singer Natalia. I love that song. So then between 2009 and 2015, the group consisted of Anita, Ruth, Isa, and Ruth's granddaughter, Sadako Pointer. So it's changed again, but they kept it in the family. While all 4 women remain in the group, they most often perform as a trio during the lineups as needed. So they kind of rotate around. And then in 2015, Sister Anita was forced to retire due to ill health, leaving Ruth the sole member of the original sibling lineup. So in December 2016, Billboard magazine ranked them as the 80th most successful dance artists of all time. I would agree. And then in December 2017, Billboard ranked them as the 93rd most successful Hot 100 artists of all time. Let's get back to the song that we're talking about here, which was He's So Shy. It was written by Tom Snow and Cynthia Weil. Snow wrote a lot of music for movies, including Let's Hear It for the Boys, which I love that song from Footloose, sung by Miss Denise Williams. And Weil wrote many famous songs with her husband, Barry Mann. So there's that famous Weil and Mann songwriting duo. And they actually wrote You've Lost That Love and Feeling. So very popular song, which I knew it in the more contemporary when it was sung in Top Gun, but obviously I think the one of the most famous singing of that is by the brothers. I can't remember their name, but anyway, you know what I'm talking about. All right, so songwriter Tom Snow recalls, quote unquote, it was the first time I'd actually written a melody that I knew in my heart it was a smash. And I had been at the BMI Awards banquet when he was honored for the success of his composition song You. That's when he met lyricist Cynthia Weil, who was with her husband Barry Mann. And of course, they formed the iconic Mann-Weil songwriting team. Weil and Mann being in attendance at the banquet, Snow said, I did something I'm not prone to doing because I'm not a real self-promoter. I ginned up the courage, I've never heard that before, went over and introduced myself. After checking out Snow's output and being favorably impressed, Weil had agreed to collaborate with him in the inaugural Snow Weil composition song called Holding Out for Love, being recorded by Cher for her 1979 album called Prisoner. And it says here on the notes online that an eventual R&B hit for Angela Bofill in 1982, Holding Out for Love, was also recorded by the Pointer Sisters as a non-album cut utilized as the B-side of their 1981 song, Slow Hand. I love that song. On his website, Snow recalls that the song was written very quickly after an extended period of struggling to come up with a hit. He says here, quote unquote, this one originated with the music and a working title, She's So Shy. So it used to be She's So Shy, not He's So Shy. He says here, I've been plugging away for weeks trying to find a hit hook. Everything I came up with sounded like a derivative melodic babble. Reduced to desperation, one night I went to my studio after dinner and a few glasses of wine, that helps, set the Roland TR 808 to 120 beats per minute and started playing G minor arpeggios on my Prophet 5 cents. So those of you that are music geeks, you know what he's talking about. At least that was some viable form of music. That did the trick. Not having the pressure anymore of trying to come up with a smash hit. The vault opened up within 30 minutes. I had the melody, chord changes, and a working title, She's So Shy. I knew immediately that I'd come up with something very, very commercial. The feeling was intense. I remember leaving the studio 3 hours later after playing the tune hundreds of times and feeling like I was walking 2 inches above the floor. Not taking the chances, I called Cynthia the next day and asked her to write the lyric. We both thought the song would be a smash, and our instincts were right. He's So Shy sold 1.5 million copies. Wow. I will forever indebted to those G minor arpeggios. So here's a little more insight to the song, because remember it started with She's So Shy. So it says, although the title recalls the girl group classic He's So Fine by the Chiffons, He's So Shy was in fact conceived by its composer as She's So Shy, right? And it was originally intended for, get this, singer Leo Sayer. I love Leo Sayer. I remember him on The Muppets. Snow had co-written 4 songs for Sayer's 1977 album Thunder in My Heart, including the top 40 title cut hit, an initial 4 for Sayer's 1978 album Leo Sayer, both of which were produced by Richard Perry. By this time, however, Perry was no longer producing Sayer. They said here, subsequent to the Leo Sayer album, but She's So Shy came to his attention because Snow had signed with Perry's Braintree music publishing firm in 1977. Here's where it comes together. And Perry saw the potential of a gender-adjusted version of the song as a track for the Pointer Sisters, who had inaugurated Perry's own Planet label with the 1978-79 worldwide hit Fire. So that's why it came from Leo Sayer, who was the intended singer for the song, and it pivoted to the Pointer Sisters. And according to one of the Pointer Sisters, Ruth Pointer, Perry's assigning of the lead vocal on He's So Shy to June Pointer was a disappointment to the other sister, Anita Pointer, who Ruth says wanted that song badly. Ruth had stated that Perry had recorded He's So Shy with Anita on the lead, but then opined, I think I want June to record this as lead. Interesting. Producer Richard Perry was quoted to say, I thought it much more powerful sung by a girl. Guys are deceptively shy, often more than girls. I heard it as a cross between He's So Fine and the Shoop Shoop song, which I remember I think Cher sang. I didn't tactically jump on the What a Fool Believes bandwagon, admitting stylistically similar to the influential Doobie Brothers' 1979 #1 hit, but that style was already enmeshed in He's So Shy. You know what? Listen to He's So Shy, because he's right. The beginning kind of dun 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 dun. It does sound like Michael McDonald's Doobie Brothers' What a Fool Believes. weird. Okay, so the song's fusion of classic girl group pop, new wave style dance music, and R&B proved the right combination for the Pointer Sisters, which of course had a lot of top 10 positions in the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. And apparently, this song especially would hold their position during the same 3 weeks that Barbra Streisand's "A Woman in Love" held the number one spot. So the number one spot was always held off by Barbara's song "Woman in Love," but they still stayed in the top 10 for sure, or top 5 for 3 weeks. They say, insiders, that He's So Shy set the prototype of the trademark Pointer Sisters sound, which would give that group its career peak from 1983 to 84 with their breakout album. And then there was a music video made for this, and you can find it. I found it on, of course, YouTube. They say here it was a promotional clip for He's So Shy, because back then there was no MTV. So they're like, oh, let's just make a video while they're singing it or pretending to sing it. Described by Ruth Pointer as a primitive affair, just the three of us dancing and lip syncing to the song inside the Bradbury building in downtown Los Angeles. Lots of stairs and elevators, but we made it work. So watch it because it's great. So here's a big did you know, and I think I remember this episode. So the Pointer Sisters actually performed He's So Shy on the famous 1980s or 80s show I used to watch as a kid on the Love Boat. Get this. It was an episode on February 7th, 1981. The premise was all three sisters portrayed members of the ship's housekeeping staff. When a record label executive boards the ship, actor Ted Lang, who plays Isaac the bartender, sees it as his chance to be discovered as a singer and recruits the Pointer Sisters, aka Housekeeping, to be his background singers for a performance of the song. But well, it backfires because when they end up performing with Isaac, the record producer executive praises the background singers and signs them to a record deal, but not Isaac. So he's stuck to make drinks on the Lido deck or Acapulco Lounge. So I did not know that. So I thought that was cool. So let's go back to the sisters. This is where I was going to kind of give the foreboding of who's still with us. So of the 4 main sisters, only one's still with us. So June Pointer, who was the lead for He's So Shy, on February 27th, 2006, she suffered a stroke. And while hospitalized, she was diagnosed with cancer, which metastasized in her brain, colon, liver, and bones. Oh my goodness. She died in UCLA Medical Center in Santa Monica, California on April 11th, 2006. So February, March, April, so a couple months after her stroke at the young age of 52. Yikes. A family statement said June died in the arms of her sisters Ruth and Anita and her brothers Aaron and Fritz by her side, so she wasn't alone. Then their other sister, Anita Pointer, in October 2021, was supposed to be a contestant on season 6 of The Masked Singer as part of a duet with her sister Ruth, who revealed that Pointer had not performed because she was dealing with an illness. Anita Pointer died from cancer at her home in Beverly Hills, California on December 31st, 2022, so just recently at the age of 74. And then her other sister, Bonnie Pointer, due to, they say, 10 years of alcoholic liver disease and cirrhosis, died from cardiac arrest at her home in Los Angeles on June 8, 2020, at the age of 69. The only remaining Pointer sister is Ruth Esther Pointer. She was born on March 19th, 1946, and is an American singer and best known as the eldest and, I said, last surviving member of the Pointer Sisters, and she's still with us as of today, thank goodness. So we unpacked here. The misheard song lyric is "Please Don't Shine." Well, they did quite well, and they won many awards. And every time at a karaoke bar when someone sings "I'm So Excited" or Neutron Dance, it just makes people want to get up and dance. So I love them, and I was excited to do this episode. If you have any great suggestions like this misheard song lyric, send it to any of our Instagram, Facebook, now X, formerly Twitter, or just send me a good old-fashioned email at misheard, that's MISSHEARD songs @gmail.com. Till then, keep saying those songs wrong. Bye!